Was Gucci Ma Nuggets? And welcome to the Homie Humpday show of the Raucous Modern Life podcast, where the episodes are fun, light, and filled with shits and giggles. These sods will be ad-free with less editing to highlight the kagaguan of my friends and I. So if you got time to spare, let's get retarded in here. Homie Humpday. Homie Humpday. Homie Humpday. Homie Humpday. What's poppin', everyone, and welcome to the Homie Humpday show of the Raucous Modern Life podcast. Today's guests are longtime friends of mine who also happen to be hardcore gamers. First of which dominates the Fortnite world and goes by the alias name of The Bims, Mr. David Arceo. And my other guest has been tearing up the Dota scene for pretty much as long as I can remember, and also owns pretty much any other game that he ends up playing. And he goes by the name of Silverninja, Mr. Max Zara. So, what's poppin', guys? Why don't you introduce yourself, your profession by day, and the game that took up most of your time during the pandemic?
Hey, what's up, guys? David Arceo. I recently just graduated from LaSalle a few weeks ago. So I'm I've been looking for a job for maybe the last week or so, and I just been gaming like recently, like over the quarantine, over the pandemic. I've just been playing. It's so much takes up so much of my time that I have so much fun with it. So the game that took up most of my time is probably Fortnite and FIFA. So Fortnite I've been playing since maybe like 2016, 2015. I've just been grinding it out, trying to see if I can get on the leaderboards and everything like that. And it ended up going well because when I was checking the leaderboards, I ended up being like top 5 in the Philippines. So that ended up
Yes,
well.
sir.
And with FIFA, I mean, I've been playing FIFA since maybe grade 3, grade 4 with the boys and everything. And then once I got away from PS4 and everything, I stopped playing it. So this year I just ended up buying it on the PC. Ended up pretty well. I mean, like, when you go back to your roots, so much fun to play FIFA.
Of course, man. And it's
Yeah.
crazy how much you've been grinding through Fortnite. He's number 4 right now in the Philippines, people. You gotta know what's up. This is the Bims in the flesh. And I played with him a couple of times and he's like straight up godlike. Pero good times naman. Hindi naman
I just got
sungit.
lucky.
And you've been saying you've been playing FIFA too. Wait, but before that, let's let Max introduce himself
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Sup, guys? My name's Max, and by day I'm a leasing associate, so leasing and real estate, and so a bit of business development. So, yeah, and by night, as Rocky mentioned, they call me Silver Ninja. It's actually an old name of mine which I came up with high school. I actually don't remember how I came up with that name. So, the game I've been playing mostly was Dota. So, Rocky mentioned we used to play back then,
Yes,
and
sir.
I also used to play with David Fortnite, but then I think Dota's the game that really stayed with my life. So I've been playing it for like probably 6 years right by now. So yeah.
That's crazy, man. Dota 2 for about 6 years. Did you play Dota 1 also?
No, actually I didn't. So I came from a similar game called Heroes of New Earth. So
Mm.
that's the game I really like.
Hon,
That
diba?
really got me into gaming. So
Yeah.
similar to David, I used to grind a lot there and reach the leaderboards,
Yeah.
etc.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Yeah, and Hon was pretty much like Dota 1.5, I'd say. Like they pretty much had the same characters and same like objective
Gameplay.
of the game. So I mean, I'm sure like it was a pretty easy transition moving from Hon to Dota. And David, you mentioned also that you were playing a lot of FIFA as of late.
Yeah.
And for those of the listeners that don't know, David actually used to play actual football before. So I wanted to ask, like, do you think that playing the actual game, has an effect on your performance in FIFA?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, the thing with FIFA is it just so like the game. Like once you play FIFA and you see how well people can pass the ball and everything, it motivates you to play as good as them, right? And of course, when you play football, you watch the Champions League, like the leagues and everything like that. We memorize the players. So it's so much fun back then in like high school when we would play. So we would have training at like 4 to 7 p.m. like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and like we'd be out of class like 2:30. So what we'd do is go to my house. We'd have tournaments every Friday. FIFA tournaments in my house every Friday. And then I bought a WWE belt. So whoever wins a tournament that weekend would bring it home, and then the next week someone would end up getting it again and again. And just, FIFA's just so much fun. I mean, I think that I would call it my favorite game of all time.
Really?
Yeah, just because of like how long I've been playing the game, and like even if I don't play after like 3 years, I still have as much fun as I did back then.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny that you mentioned the belt because I actually had the same kind of concept, pero for 2K naman with my cousins. So if you see like there, up there, I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a belt there, like right next to the baseball gloves. It's medyo blurry with the lights, but yeah, that was like the 2K championship belt. And I mean, I love 2K. I've been playing 2K also for quite some time now, but there's something about FIFA also, and I'm sure you guys can agree with this. Nah, when you score a goal, there's like a different satisfaction. Like when you're rubbing it in your fucking friend's face, like
the celebration and everything.
Yeah, I think it's rare because in football, like to score a goal compared to shooting points in basketball. Like,
yeah, like I used to play FIFA with Max back in there.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I used to play FIFA a lot too.
We used to
Honestly,
walk him.
Ooh.
that's what he says, but honestly, he doesn't. It's the other way around, buddy.
Ayan na po, the trash talking. So, what are your FIFA teams or like even real life football teams? Who's like your go-to? Like game time, belt is on the line. Who's the team you
That is
pick?
on the line. I mean, honestly, any team Ronaldo's in.
Any team? Yeah,
Like back then, it'd be Madrid, and then now it'd probably be Juventus, just because of how stacked they are now. But I mean, in terms of my favorite teams, Arsenal, they're playing awful
Quang,
football,
quang, quang.
very awful.
Quang,
Quite some
quang.
time now.
Like I mean, I tell myself I'm not gonna watch the game at 3 a.m. End up watching, get disappointed, sleep late, and then my sleep is so bad. Like, I don't know, man. At least I'm a supporter.
Yeah,
At least I'm a supporter.
at least you're loyal also, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
too many bandwagoners out here.
Yeah.
And I know how you feel, man. The Knicks, they were in the shithole for a long time, but
Yes, sir.
fourth seed, baby.
Yes, sir.
Fourth
Respect to
seed.
them, dude. Respect to you for being a fan for so long, dude.
Dude.
It's the grind, man.
I was actually so close to switching teams now. Like literally this year, I was like, okay, so I've been a fan since 2010, and the furthest they've ever brought me was the fucking second round.
Yeah.
And I have no connection with New York City. I just like the team. I like the colors and stuff. So I was like, tanga this year, if they're the same shitty team that ends up trading away all of their fucking good pieces, I'm jumping ship, man.
Yeah,
But buti na lang, fourth seed, baby.
Wala, I can't say the same, dude. I'm a bandwagoner. I was born in Toronto pa, so I've been a Raptors fan for a while, and then nung start of the season, I was like, guys, we gotta trade Shakam, dude. He's too bad. We gotta trade him.
Yeah, Spicy P's been pretty fucking horrible.
Yeah, I'm a big Hornets fan now since we brought up
Hornets,
basketball.
LaMelo.
LaMelo.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's a good team, man. It's a good team. I mean, like, all of our teams are, like, kind of thriving with my Suns.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude,
I
the
mean, like,
Suns, man.
the Knicks and the Suns finally, after, like, how many years, they're actually being competitive. It's been so many years. We always talk in IG and everything, like, this is going to be the year, they'll be good, and then, I don't know, man.
But
Good
I
year,
mean,
it's a good year.
dude, when you're loyal, for some reason, it just pays off so much more.
Yeah, it
It
pays
just
off,
feels
yeah.
so much sweeter, like getting
Yeah.
like even just a simple win against like Detroit or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's good vibes, man.
Yeah.
Good vibe. But Max, what like did you jump team just because of Siakam? Like, but I mean, you guys just
I
won
would
2
say
years ago.
jump
See?
teams, but I feel like I betrayed them a bit since I was hating on them at the start of the season. But I was still a fan. Like I'd support them, I'd watch their games, I'd cheer for them. But then pag talo, I'd be I'd be annoyed. So I'd trash talk them and stuff. tweet
Decent na
about it,
matalo,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah.
David and I were born in the shadows, bro.
Hassle.
All right, so I mean, we talked about our NBA teams, some FIFA stuff. So why don't we get into the topic of this podcast, which is gaming? So I want to start off by going all the way to the start and ask you guys, like, do you guys remember the game that got you hooked into gaming or esports in general? Like, you can go like as far as PS1 or something more recent like HON or Fortnite, like you guys mentioned. Like, what was the game that when you played it, you're just like, "I, this is it, man." You felt like you were in your element.
Mhm.
Uh,
So, do you want me to go first, David? Or
yeah,
you?
send it next.
I think for me, um, growing up playing FIFA with my older brother. So, our age gap is like 8 years. So when I was 7, he was like 15. So he was really good at FIFA, and I was trying to get good at FIFA. But then every night I lost, but for some reason I was enjoying it so much, even if I was losing. So I knew that gaming was something I really liked at the time. Then I evolved into like computer gaming. So when he had a computer, I think I was playing Counter Strike most of the time. Then Heroes of
Mm,
New Earth, as you mentioned earlier. So yeah, I think what I like most about gaming is yun nga, playing with my kuya. So when I'm playing with friends, it's as if like you're virtually with them.
right. Yeah, and
Hmm.
especially during these
Yeah.
times when you can't be with your friends, like it kind of helps you feel more connected. Like especially at the start of the lockdown when you're not even allowed to leave your house or your village. It's like it's a nice like way to catch up with friends and
Yeah.
trash talk at the same time. So
Exactly.
good vibes, good
Yes,
vibes.
yes.
Exactly. Good vibes only.
What about you, Dave?
Same actually. Like I was saying, Karina, I think just like back when PCs weren't really a thing yet, everyone would just be on like their PS4s, their PS3s, and FIFA was just really the game. Like I mean, I was never into like story mode games and everything. It's more of like just sports games. So if you check my PS4 now and like the games I have, it's FIFA 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Those are the only games I have, man. Like I mean, like ever since FIFA was just always my game. Like just because like you can play with other people, like people come over or online and everything. Like I always like playing games that you could play with other people rather than like story. And I mean, like when I get to play with the boys, like weekends, Fridays, being able to play with us is so much fun. I mean, just the banter. The banter is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely,
the banters
definitely.
just
Yeah,
make it fun, and it's like
yeah,
it's really the relationship building slash relationship breaking. Cause
yeah,
like,
exactly.
goddamn,
Yes,
I
yes.
don't know how many fights I've got into with like my brother, my cousins, na pikunan talaga. Like, parang
Broken controllers.
any goal in the plus minutes after the 90-minute mark is
Mhm.
automatically chamba. Like,
Yeah,
tang ina chamba,
yeah,
putang
yeah,
ina, swerte ka
yeah.
lang.
Actually, I'm not that good in FIFA, I think. But then what I'm good at is trash talking. So I'm pretty sure David has experienced it when we used to play back in college. Like I'd say we won equally the same
Yeah, yeah,
amount of
yeah.
games, but I'd give respect to David for having more skill in the game. It's just I try
The
to get in
trash
his
talk is
head
so
or
much
like
fun.
whoever I'm playing. I try to get in their heads lang to make up for my lack of skill.
Yeah.
Hey
It
man, but
equals out.
yeah, it's another facet of the game, man. Trash
Mhm.
talking, like mind games. Like, um, I used to play 2K a lot with my friend Jamie. I don't know if you guys, David knows Jamie for sure, Escaler. And
Mhm.
for like maybe about like 2 years, I couldn't fucking beat him. And I realized it was because he kept playing mind games with me. Like, he'd trash talk, he'd just be like,
Yeah.
ah, no way. And it's like, yeah, baby. And then, like, and then he'd always pick the home team, so the screen is
Yeah,
shaking
yeah, yeah,
pa.
yeah. Like
And
free
it just
throws and
gets into your
everything.
head. And, it's a skill in itself, I'd say.
Yeah,
But yeah, like for me naman, I think the game like got me like cuz a little backstory. I actually wasn't allowed to play most video games growing up. Like the first time I had a real console was about second or third year high school, and it was like
yeah,
a second hand um Xbox 360 when the Xbox One came out na.
yeah.
And it's because like my mom used to like, she was super strict about it, being like, you should be out playing and stuff like that. But
Studying
like the first game, I like that's when I found the loophole because she wouldn't allow me to
The
have a
loophole.
console. Pero like pwede naman PC. So she would let us play PC games, yung mga fuck, what are those game websites again? Newgrounds. Do you guys remember Newgrounds?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yung mga Newgrounds and stuff. I was playing a lot of that. And then I found the loophole, which is Dota, baby. I was using the computer, but damn, like I used to play so much, and like especially like in high school slash college, yung mga days in Mineski, like Max's chair right there for the viewers that are watching the YouTube. I after class, get to Mineski at around 5 p.m. Play 2 games of Dota, dinner break, and then next thing you know, it's like 1 a.m. na, and you know, you that's what's crazy about games because like times really just like flies. Like when you're playing, it's you're like
Yeah.
living in another reality. And I mean, I wanted to ask you guys like, what's the longest playing session that you've ever put in? Because like I remember before, like I was saying, like I used to play so long, and it was the type now. Even though I wasn't playing anymore, I was back in my condo, ready to sleep. Like when I closed my eyes, I could literally see like the characters for Hen, and like thinking like, man, I should have used this skill earlier, or
Yeah,
man, I
yeah,
should have like taken this angle along. So yeah, like have you guys like experienced that same thing? And what was the longest session kaya that you guys ever put in?
I saw David's reaction and we were both like giving a heavy sigh.
I think
It's
Max,
like
you go
Not
we
for
were
proud
it.
of
we
it.
were
Go
both
for it.
recalling like how bad our
Yeah.
full
Or how
day sessions
long?
are. So
Yeah.
I think for me back in high school and early college when I play a lot, I'd play around 10 hours a
Holy
day.
shit.
So straight probably like 5 6 hours straight and then siguro like break to eat, then play 5 more hours.
Damn, and this is like during like school pa. So I mean, that's plus 8 hours of school pa. So like
No, I
you only
think
had
that's on the weekend.
weekends
But then
naman.
pag weekdays, gotta balance things out.
4 hours naman.
Mga 5 lang.
That's
Uh,
crazy, man. What about you, Dave?
I don't know if I want to say it. I don't
Dude,
know.
okay lang. No
Like
shame.
I mean, like straight. I
Hindi
don't
naman
know,
straight, but
man.
like let's say in a
Like
24 hour,
24
like
hours, probably like 13.
13.
13 hours. Yeah. Like like not on an average, right? I mean, like probably the most I've ever done is like 12 hours, like maybe from like 2 p.m. to like 3 a.m. Break a bit for dinner and go back to the grind. Because I mean, like start of quarantine, everyone's always home, down to play. So like sometimes I'll be playing with these people that go and break, and I play with another group of people, and then they'll go and break, and I'll go back play with the people I started with. I mean, like sometimes when you're in the zone, you're in the zone, right?
Dude,
When
yeah.
you start playing, and you're just there, and you just forget about time. Like, oh wow, it's already 3 a.m. To go to sleep. I have to go to sleep and wake up early tomorrow to game again.
And I'm just curious, like during that 13-hour streak that you had, was it all the same game or were you switching it up naman?
Nah, I think it was just all Fortnite.
All Fortnite.
Yeah. Like when I was like peak, like addicted to Fortnite, because now not as much anymore. Like I mean, I still play it like almost every day, but I mean like just like pubs and everything. I still play a bit, but not like before when like like I was really trying to get better and everything.
Yeah.
Now not as much. Not,
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's really a grind, man, and like, there are people that legit put in hours into it, and esports is now an actual official event in the Olympics, and it's crazy how much esports has grew like throughout all of these years. So Max is very much into esports. Dave not as much. He loves playing games, and that's completely
so
fine. But I feel like this is too important of a topic not to at least brush up on. So I wanted to start off by asking, like, what are some of the different popular esports games, teams, and wages? Like, I mean, how does the wages even work? And yeah, why don't you shed a bit of light on that, Max?
Shit. Okay. Well, the same thing goes with like how traditional sports go. So like professional football players, professional NBA players, they're contracted by professional teams. Like for example, um, France, a French team being Paris Saint-Germain, which is PSG, right? So they pay their players like annually, depending on their contract. For the same thing goes with like esports players. So I think PSG has a Dota team now. They're based in China. So different like organizations, like even Monaco, AS Monaco, which is a football team too, they also have a Dota team. So and these are all like in the past year pa lang. So it's starting to get really big now. So even the wages, they're not as big as like traditional sports like football or basketball, but then they're pretty big
They're
too.
pretty big, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, like
Like
I saw
a million pesos per month maybe for like the top players.
yeah,
Yeah.
insane.
and I even saw one event like Overwatch, like the cash prize was what, $1 million, man. That's
Yeah,
nuts, dude.
No,
And
nuts.
actually, like the biggest tournament ever, the whole prize pool was 40 million USD.
Oh, it's Dota. Yeah, I know it's Dota,
Yeah,
right?
40 million USD. So that's pretty big.
Dude, it's
Insane.
nuts, man. How much it's grown, and like yeah, like you said earlier, there are a bunch of professional sports teams that are actually funding. Like I was
Hmm.
watching some video earlier, and I saw that the Philadelphia 76ers, they like sponsored an Overwatch team, like giving them state of the art facilities, state of the art equipment, and they even train them like
Hmm.
athletes. Like there's a legit trainer that designs a program for them and stuff like that. And like when I was my undergrad was sports science, so we were dealing with all things sports, and there was actually this one thesis on esports. So I didn't get to dive so much into it. But do you know how like teams would like people would train for esports? Like I'm pretty sure it's like hand-eye coordination stuff, reaction time. Do you have any like clue on what they do there? No.
So I think in games the technical aspect, which is like for example shooting games, you have to be like good at aiming. So there are different like programs for you to train those technical skills. And then like that's why some teams need a coach.
Yeah.
Actually most professional teams have coaches because it builds up your confidence, which is also important, building momentum. So I guess it's super similar na to how professional games are. Like they have a fixed schedule of like wake up at 9, then training in the morning, then coach's session, and then training again at 9, and then like individual training, which is like going into public matches alone
Right.
to hone your skills. So like yeah, I feel like esports players need to put a lot of time into it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Because aside from like the reflexes and like how fast you can click and stuff like that and how good you can aim, there's a lot of like game IQ, I guess, that
Yeah.
like you need to learn more and more about the game since there's so much aspects to it, since it's like a whole different like world, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I
And
did it.
I'm sure that they even have like, film sessions, like even that type
Audio
of stuff.
reviews.
Na
Yeah.
parang, yeah, watching how these other people play, like studying them before the match and working on your own tactical stuff. I mean, it's a real sport, man. Like, it brings me back to, I think it was 2017 when the Dota tournament was held here in Mall of Asia. And damn, dude, it was like, at first I was like, much weird, like kind of watching other people play Dota. I mean, I like
I
watching
was
YouTube
there though.
videos. I was there too. I was there too. And dude, it was crazy. It was like watching the World Cup, man. Like when somebody
Yeah.
would make like it's like a super perfect
Mhm.
timing SS, and then the crowd would just go "Rah!" just
Yeah.
Yeah.
erupting and stuff. It's a real sport nowadays, man. And like with every real sport, there are like some problems also that go into it. Like, there's gambling, cheating, and hacking. What do you know about that, Max? Because I'm pretty much not knowledgeable about that at all.
Also, on the popular betting sites for sports, the biggest ones being like, I think it's called Bet365, which is
Yeah.
international. Like there's like an esports section already for like most of the popular games. So it works the same way. You put money on a team and then you win if ever they win too, right? So and then problems in the professional scene, I guess, would be like match fixing. So like yung ibang tao like they lose on purpose, you get me?
Yeah.
Like
Really? Yeah, they
they're
get paid
players
off.
and well and what I know most is Dota, right? So
Yeah.
In the Dota scene, there are a lot of teams and organizations. Like a popular Chinese organization like got banned like lifetime. So none of their players could ever play Dota. So imagine like putting in like 10 hours a day of your life for
Damn.
like 15 years and then just getting banned
Yeah.
from
Yep.
playing
Insane.
the game. So
But
it's crazy.
it's
But then
tough.
they
It's
take
tough.
the
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. But it's tough also. I mean, just like in real sports, like, especially like put it in the Filipino context na parang you legit started off playing in PisoNet Dota matches and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, you could barely afford to pay for that extra 15 pesos for that next game or something like that. And then somebody just offers you like $100,000 in cash right there. It's like, it's hard to turn down. But like, yeah, there are a bunch of like different problems also that come into it. And like, how does cheating work though? Like, I read an article a while ago that there was a couple of teams that got caught for cheating. Like, how do you cheat exactly in games like that when it's pretty much in a professional setting?
Mhm. So I think David kind of knows a bit of this too. So you can go
Yeah, but
first,
like,
David.
I mean, like in terms of like Fortnite, because there have been some like cheating scandals that have happened. Because like basically there's this rule in like this battle royale, right? So like if there's still a certain number of people in the zone, like let's say like third zone, and there's still like more than 70 people, it has to be 70 people left before that, or like the people without that much damage dies. So basically it's called storm surge, right? So you need to have a certain amount of damage and you won't get damaged. So if you haven't killed anyone, done any damage, you get damage, basically. So during the World Cup qualifiers for Fortnite, I think 2019, there were like 3 or 4 teams caught cheating because what they would do is like they'd go on Discord or like they'd talk about like let's just tag each other just so that we have enough like damage for that storm surge. And then they ended up getting caught, got banned, and everything like that. There are also like aim hacking, soft aim,
Mhm.
that the softwares that they've downloaded and stuff like that. But now it's not really seen as much like cheating scene in Fortnite. But I mean, before it was just like you know if someone's cheated and everything like that. Especially in the World Cup because the World Cup happened 2019, and there's so many cheaters and everything that they got banned. And the prize pool for the Fortnite World Cup I think was like $30 million, something like
Wow.
that. It's insane. Yeah, and then to put your whole life there and cheap.
Yeah, I mean the stakes are really high, so
Yeah,
I mean you get why. I mean some people would at least think of cheating, but I mean it's like real sports. Like you don't want to use PEDs, that all that type of stuff.
yeah,
But I mean, like I'm sure that there are also a bunch of hackers that get that partner up with teams like trying to cheat about like whether
yeah.
it's trying to slow down their mbps, their opponent's mbps, or like to make them lag or some stuff of that. And I mean, it's in their realm. It's their cup of tea. It's like electronics, sports, gamings, and all that stuff. Have you guys ever heard of any instances where people would hack by cheating? And do you know how that works?
So I'm not too sure how it works, but I'm sure like all these programmers, like they develop these programs to like hack the enemies. Like for example, like I know there are some cases of these teams actually DDoSing. So I think the term is DDoSing,
What does
where
that
you
mean?
hack the enemy team's computer. So like
Hmm.
I guess you shut off the internet or whatever. So of course, like in a matter of seconds, you could lose the game. So it's
Yeah.
just like proper timing of yun nga, DDoSing. Then they could win like these big stakes.
Damn.
And other programs like, for shooting games, like you're not even like holding the mouse and somehow you're able to
Yeah,
aim at the
soft
person.
aim.
So aim hacks.
Oh shit.
And then like actually since we brought that up, there's just one tournament in Counter Strike where this guy was in like what we watched. He was playing in a stadium there in front of like tens of thousands of people, and he was using aim hacks, and he got away with it at first until the other team kind of like realized that this isn't normal. Like this is inhumane reaction times, stuff like that. So like they had it checked because like professional sports too. I'm sure like they can call out the other person and then they can like stop the game then and there, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing goes with esports, and yun nga, like he was cheating talaga.
Yeah.
So
And
it was so embarrassing for him. Like the whole community of like gamers really like
grill the shit out of him.
yeah grilled the shit out of
Yeah.
canceled
him.
him.
Yeah, because I mean, if this is like your livelihood, this is like what you put in 10 hours a day for. You can tell kasi talaga when something's not natural. Like I mean,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know that goes the same for baseball, where there's a lot of cheating going on in baseball because it's such a game of like luck and um probability. Like simple things of like putting pine tar in the hat for pitchers and
yeah,
all that type of stuff. Like you can tell when there's like an outlier because like when there's
yeah,
something unusual. And
Definitely.
it's just crazy how as a gamer you can also identify like what like how that split second of how somebody can get you when you know that you already have the advantage. Like kunwari you got him in a blind spot and all of a sudden he turns around and like shoots you straight like headshot, diba? It's like tus
Mhm.
talaga
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
toasty.
yeah.
eh. But yeah, I mean, we talked about how much esports has grown, and it's like a legit sport nowadays. And it makes you like, I was doing some research also a while ago, and I believe it was the LOL championships, not sure, League of Legends championships, and the amount of viewers that they had streaming the championships was 34 million people. And that year it beat it had more viewers than NBA Finals, MLB World Series, and NHL like championships. That's crazy.
Insane.
And
That's insane.
I mean, of course you could say na parang, oh, it's gaming so that you can stream it. But I mean, same goes naman with NBA and
Yeah.
MLB. Like you can always stream these things, but you know,
Mhm.
it's really like a rising new scene, and it leads me to think like, do you guys believe that esports can ever be like a sustainable job? Like they like create courses for it, and you know, after you graduate, or like when you're in high school, you tell your parents, I'm gonna be an esports programmer, and like they'll be okay with it. Do you think it's gonna reach that point?
I think so. Like I'm a believer because you know, like looking at facts, even the traditional sports like NBA, FIFA, the ratings are all going down, right? And then esports on the other hand, the ratings are going up. And sakto like this year and last year, we were all stuck at home for most of our lives. So what do most people like people who are into sports they get into gaming they're in? So I think it could really be a big thing in the future with how things are going now.
Yeah. I think so too, man. Like, I mean, I think the thing with streaming and esports is if you grind enough of the game, you can earn so much. You like, especially streaming. I mean, like, of course, esports is such a big thing, right? I mean, like the Fortnite pros that I watch on like Twitch and everything like that, and to see how much money they earn on like a weekly basis on these tournaments and everything.
Mhm.
You start to think like these 13, 14-year-olds earning that much money, buying Teslas for their dads, their moms, at this age, it shows like, you know, that it's a big thing, and you can earn a lot from it, and it could be sustainable at the end of the day, especially streaming too.
Yeah, and it has a lot of potential. Like
Yeah,
I've seen like a bunch of super famous people investing a lot of money in it, like Ashton Kutcher, who's like um he's he's an investor. He was on like, you know, Shark Tank, and then people like Alex Rodriguez, a baseball player, Jennifer Lopez, like they're all like investing a bunch on in these different esports pro gaming companies. And yeah, it's like it has so much growth potential there, because so many people are getting into it, and it doesn't you don't need a lot of equipment to get into it. I mean, like I said earlier, you could literally just go to your closest piece on net, pay 15 pesos for 1 hour to
yeah,
get a game of Dota or a couple of games of Fortnite in, and it's just ridiculous. And as of late, there has been a pretty large surge in the streaming industry. Like, I always knew that streaming was a thing. Like maybe a couple of years back, I used to see it every once in a while, but during the quarantine, it really like spiked. Like there was just a bunch of other people doing it, and you'll see people sharing these famous streamers. And I even saw a couple of friends do it themselves. Like they started, you know, getting a green screen behind them and then start streaming and then talking over it. So why do you guys think there has been such a huge surge in streaming as of late?
well, I personally think that the reason why there's such a huge surge in streaming is also because of the quarantine. I mean, like having so much time on your hands, being able to play a game for like maybe an X amount of hours, 6 hours, and just thinking, why don't I try to monetize this, right? I mean, like if I'm just gonna play with my friends, read maybe the chat for a bit, and being able to stream it and earn from it. I mean, why not, right? And I think with so much time on our hands, people seeing other streamers make so much money, and like, because I've seen some YouTube videos showing like how much Twitch streamers make, like the big ones, right? With their how much they make, and like the ads ads and everything like that. It's insane. Like I mean, like I tried streaming for a while back in like start of quarantine, just for a bit, like just like a small thing, and I just stopped. But I mean, like you can really earn a lot from it, like just streaming in itself. Like it's a big thing. It's a big
Yeah,
thing.
for sure. Because at the end of the day, it's content per rin,
Yeah,
and the content will always generate views, which generates revenue and
yeah.
all that stuff. But Max, what's your take on the huge surge of streaming as of late?
Yeah, I agree naman with David. Like it's really the quarantine that really like brought up the surge for streaming. And I think more and more people know how big it is now. Like yun nga, there are a lot of videos explaining how much they actually make. So like not just Twitch, but like on YouTube. Like people are streaming on YouTube now and on Facebook. And like even with just like a following of like 10,000 or 20,000, you could be making like millions of pesos na within a year, right?
Yeah.
So it takes over na actually pursuing a corporate job or like making your own business, right? So I guess it's another route for other people for people to take. So like it's also hard to find jobs now. I think, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yun nga, like more time on your hands, more opportunities there. Why not? So that's the
Yeah.
reason for the recent surge of
And like if you're already
streaming.
putting in those hours, might as well like try to make a living out of it, diba? Like if you're doing already something that you love, like why
Mhm.
not like try to, make some monetize it in one way or the other. And at the end of the day, like what you guys both mentioned was it the surge was due to the pandemic. And I think one of the reasons is because it's kind of like connecting with other people also. It's like,
Yeah.
a different
Mhm.
type of socializing, trying to like it's almost like you're hanging out with a person, like when you're watching somebody stream and just trying to see what they're doing also in the
Yeah.
game so that maybe you can copy it. But I don't personally watch a lot of streamers because I haven't been playing a lot of online games or what people would like the games that people would stream for at least. So like when you guys are picking streamers to watch, like what do you look for in choosing a streamer? Is it like I mean, is it their setup? Is it the way that they play? Like I have no idea. So
Well,
Mhm.
like for me, like what I usually look at is usually if they're a content creator, right? Like they're more of like they just vibe with like their viewers and everything like that. I mean, like they're good at the game, and like they're the type of person to like play different games, like what the viewers want to see and everything. Rather than like um, streamers that are just there that are really good at the game, but they don't really talk a lot. They don't really like engage with the chat or like with the viewers and everything. Like there's so many content creators you can watch on Twitch that it's super funny. That you can chat and then they always reply because like like these people with like 50,000 viewers, they don't really read the chat, right? I mean like they don't really have that much time. But if you're able to like find like some streamers that actually listen to the chat and like talk to them that are super engaging with them. It's actually really fun to like it's like 3 hours of watching streamers. It's so much fun. It's
yeah,
nice to watch like content creators. It's really nice.
for sure.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're kind of like hosts kasi,
Yeah,
diba? It's like, they're like hosting their platform and, if you find someone that makes it fun or someone that does a lot of work in post editing, adding memes, mga sound
yeah,
bites, like
yeah,
mga
yeah,
random like laughing shit, it's content. It makes
yeah,
you, you enjoy watching it and especially if you're into it. And like you said, like you want to look for the streamers nga that, reply to you, diba?
yeah,
At the end of the day, it's feeling connected with
yeah.
that
That you can
person.
vibe with. Yeah, you can vibe
Yeah,
with, man. Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Max?
Yeah, I think I agree with David again. It's really about making the connection with the streamer. So if you vibe with them, if you relate to them, like if you feel like you have the same personality, they're like your friends na rin, no? So
Yeah,
parang I prioritize entertainment purposes and if I like relate to them. So like one of my favorite streamers, you guys might have heard him, Dr. Disrespect.
oh, the big
So
I
dog.
actually have no
Yes,
idea who
sir.
that is, but I'm gonna search him right now. So let's do some screen
He's a
share.
really, really big,
His name
really big
Doctor
streamer.
Disrespect.
Yeah,
DR Disrespect,
I
yes.
love I love the name though.
So just by the name,
Oh,
like you already know like
what type of dude he is?
yeah, what vibe he's given. So he's okay, honestly. Like he can keep up with like the top players,
What games
right,
does he
David? I
play?
think he plays almost all the
yeah.
popular games.
The
So
in
like
games, yeah.
he used to play Fortnite, and he was playing like PUBG, and then
PUBG, yeah.
PUBG.
so
Wow,
like,
3.27 million subscribers. That's
He's
a
a
lot.
big
he's not
streamer.
good, but every time he gets like a kill or something, or he does something good, he hypes it up, and like I'm just
He's
so
just
hyped up.
content. He's just so much content. Doctor Disrespect's so funny. And like all his animation, like his animations, green screen, everything. It's so funny. It's so funny.
I love how he's wearing a Vespa and he's got his own branding down
Super in
pa.
theme, yeah.
Yeah. But
Good stuff.
I mean, these guys take it to another level because it really is content creating and just finding ways to be more engaged. But given that there's a huge surge of streaming, and I love how it's not also gender specific. It's not just for guys. There are a bunch of girl streamers that have been
Yeah.
making a lot of money, and at the same time they incorporate cosplay with it as well. Like they'll dress up as one of the characters, and dude, it's great for them, man. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's nice. That's what one of the things I like about esports because it's gender neutral. Like
Yeah.
it's fair. It's a fair playing field. Like in sports, as much as you love it, you can never see an NBA where there are both girls and guys playing at the same court. But in gaming, it's like open field. And I'm sure that these girl streamers also like get a lot of views because I'd like to think a lot like in terms of percentage, majority of the gamers are dudes as of now.
Yeah.
Like it could change in the future, but they find a way to make money out of it, be like entertaining. Like I don't watch streamers, but one of the things I love watching is like yung mga streaming trolls. So it's like they're reading the comments of people, and then it's
Yeah.
like Pen Island, and then there's like Pen Nisland. they're like,
Yeah. Yeah. I get
like
you. I
random.
get you.
It's hilarious, man, and it's just great content. So yeah, like there's a huge future of streaming. Like, but what do you guys think is like the real future of it? Like, how far do you think this whole streaming thing can go?
I think it's gonna be bigger than like watching on the TV, like broadcasters, local broadcasters or international broadcasters. Like streaming's gonna really be the future. Why? I'm actually not too sure why. I just have this feeling talaga na it's really gonna overtake like watching television na.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, TV's dead, bro. Like
TV is
everybody's on
dead.
YouTube or Netflix. It's
Yeah.
like one or the other. So or Twitch, like you guys mentioned, like
Mhm.
that's where like all of the streamers are at. So I feel like there's so much growth potential, for streaming to go through. And thank you guys for those insights. We'll take a quick break, and after the break, we'll talk about a little bit more personal questions about these two if you guys would like to know more. But first, and we're back. So to kick off the last portion of the show, I wanted to ask you guys, like, with all of the new games that are coming out each year, like, if I'm correct, Valorant came out quite recently, and that's just another type of role playing shooter game, which is kind of like Overwatch, and there's so many games that are being developed with kind of the same, I guess, goal and the same type of format. But I wanted to ask you guys, like, when there's a new game released, what characteristic of a new game makes you personally want to play it? Like, is it the animation? Is it the gameplay? Like, what is it about a new game that gets you interested in wanting to try it out?
Uh, I think like personally, like the characteristics of a game that I'd want is like just being able to grind it. Like the games, like let's say like Valorant, Fortnite, FIFA, like these games that you want to get better in, rather than like I was saying a while ago, like I'm not really into the story mode games as much, just because like to pay for the game and then after putting an X amount of hours, you're done with it already. So basically, yeah, you have no use for it. I'd rather play games that you can grind. Like that you could be there up in the leaderboard. You can play with your friends. Like Valorant when it came out last year, I played. I still play it now a bit, but like that, those are the type of games I want. Like you want to go up the rankings, the leaderboards, and everything like that. Like you put in the hours just to grind it.
Right. Like, you want the games with statistics, right? To back
Yeah,
up your improvement because like
exactly.
with story games it's like, yeah, you may have accomplished the mission that fast, but there's no quantifiable number to
Yeah,
kind of express how much like you've improved. And yeah, like you can't exactly measure how much you've improved either. Like at the start of a game, obviously you're gonna be noob, but like
exactly.
with these other esports games, if there's a quantifiable stat or KDR,
Yeah,
then that's the motivating thing for you, right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I check. I mean, like I don't always check my KD, but I mean, like I know when I'm better at the game. Like I know that I put in the hours just to grind the game and see that it's actually paying off when you're like, shitting on kids and everything.
Your
The
mama.
term, yeah,
Man, the amount of mamas that have been disrespected in the esports world, bro.
yeah.
not
Uh,
not on International Women's Day, guys. Not on International Women's Day. But what about you, Max? What characteristic about the new game makes you intrigued to try it out?
I think for me, what really gets me hooked to a game is it's not so repetitive. So each time they change different factors of the game, like who you're playing with, like the person you are in the game, like a different hero. Like it's not repetitive because you can like choose who you want to be, something like that. And aside from that, it has to be super paced too. So like you're always doing something within the game. Like some games, kasi like mga story games, there are times you're just walking. Like
Right.
I don't want to be playing a game and then just walking in the game. Like that's so
yeah,
boring.
yeah. Just talking
Oh,
to
it's kind of the
someone.
view's nice, but sometimes it's just hanging
Yeah,
with you in the game.
yeah, yeah.
So you guys would never play like yung mga The Witcher, Red Dead, or
No,
other.
I never got into it. Yeah, I never
Not
got into
really.
it.
I think I played Assassin's Creed, which is somewhat near that, but then that's also kind of fast in. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like it's fun. And then aside from that, or actually, I think the most important aspect is being able to play with people,
yeah,
like not
Mm,
single player games. Like
for
right.
sure.
if you're against a real person or if you're teammates with other people. So like yun nga, like I really like the banter. So
It hits different, man. It
Yeah.
hits different.
yeah.
Definitely. And like, if you have teammates pa, there's like, friendship building there, it's
Yeah.
like some type of socializing also
Hmm.
through a game. But I mean, you guys both said like you don't want it repetitive, but you guys are both advocates of FIFA. Wouldn't you say that it is kind of repetitive, or what would you guys have to say about that?
Well, yeah, I guess to an extent, but like with the amount of teams you can use, you can choose from, the lineups you can play, and everything like that. I think it's different also to a certain extent. Like especially when you're playing with friends, you're not gonna be using the same team. Like I've always told myself that when I'm playing 2K, let's say like a best of three, best of five, or something, I'm not gonna be using the same team every game.
Right.
Like it's boring. It's boring. Like just use the same players all the time. So I'd always want to switch team, like see who are you playing, and then I'll choose who you're playing, and
Yeah.
switch, and stuff like that. Like I think that FIFA is like still a different type of game to a certain
Yeah.
extent. Yeah.
Yeah, like like to add to what David said, nga, you have to really adjust to who you're against. So even the guy behind the controller. So for example, if I'm playing like one of my friends who's good on offense, then I'm gonna really work on my defense that game.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if I'm against David, I'll probably work on my defense and then take the counter attack route.
Oh no, he's a
Every
farmer.
time I score, I'm just gonna trash talk as much as I can and get in his head, and hopefully I'll win that game.
Yeah, fun
But that's what makes it
times.
fun, man. The banter
Yeah,
talaga, like, the I mean, at the end of the day it's still just a game, so
yeah,
I mean, if you're really a gamer, then you won't really take it personally. But for me,
yeah,
like that doesn't really play that much. All in, all in,
yeah,
like heart and soul to it. But yeah, um like these are all like characteristics that make you want to play, and like I feel like there are a bunch of new possibilities of games that could be coming out that could be the next big thing in esports. But I don't know, what's your prediction? Do you guys know of any new game that could be the next hottest game?
Mm, none right now, but then VR is the future, I guess.
VR.
Like
yeah.
Okay.
all
But
those VR games.
how would that work though, like, online, like in a esports setting?
I'm not too sure if there are any VR games that are online yet. There probably is, but then not so complicated. Mga simpleng like VR games lang. Like you're on a spaceship or something, and then you're against like other people.
Yeah.
Nothing
Right.
too complicated because I don't think technology can handle it yet. But then in the near future, I'm sure it'll start picking up.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, Dave? Do you have any games in mind that might be
Honestly, none really. Like
none
I
really?
just love the games that I play now. Like I mean, like if a new game comes out, I'd be down to like try it out and everything. But Like, I mean, FIFA 22, I guess, next year. FIFA 22, and V2K 22.
That's a
next
cop out
year.
answer, bro. You can't pick FIFA or 2K. That's always gonna slap.
No, but I mean, like, nothing really. I haven't really been, like, looking at anything that I've been waiting for anything. But I know there was this game that came out. I'm not sure if it was this year, last year. Max, what's the name of that game? The story mode that took years to build and it finally came out. It's a
shoot.
story mode. I forgot the name.
It's not like I'm having a mental breakdown too now.
But
Like
you know
I
what I'm
can't
talking.
remember, bro.
It's like GTA. I just forgot
Yeah.
the name.
Is that like
Yeah, so
Cyberpunk?
basically they
No.
Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
yes.
Wow,
Rocket
the
knows.
non-gamer got it, but hey. But I heard really bad reviews about that game, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it was so hyped up and everything, and then there were just so many glitches and everything. I never tried because it's kind of expensive. But I mean, when my friends started playing it, they were super hyped for it, and then there's so many glitches. I think they were accepting refunds for it for a while,
Really?
just because of how bad the gameplay was.
Shit,
Yeah.
dude.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, they actually did. Like they announced na anyone who wanted to get a refund could apply for it. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they lost a lot of money in
Yeah.
that game because
No, for sure.
they've been
And
working on it for years and it
For
wasn't so
years, yeah.
successful.
And it's sad because it's the same company out there that created Witcher. And Witcher is like, one of the most popular games right now, open world games. And but
Yeah.
they just totally shot the bed, man. I heard there
Yeah.
was like really bad reviews about it.
Yeah, there's so many 1-star reviews.
Dude, yeah. And I mean, there's so much potential for other games to grow, especially in esports. Because I know that, like, I was doing some research a while ago, and there are like the most random esports games that are trending right now. Like, I know this one called Shaq Fu. Have you guys heard about that?
Nah, no. What is it?
So it was a game created at like 2002, where it's basically parang Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat type of game, fighting game, and pero all of the characters out there are Shaq or something like that.
That's funny. That's funny.
And it's like a serious esport game with like high wagers and stuff like that. And there was another game that was like Sims, like competitive
Sims, yeah.
Yeah, like parang you have a team, like somebody will be a stylist, the other one will be an architect and storytelling. Dude, like the possibilities are
The
endless.
possibilities, yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
So crazy, man.
Yeah, like one of the popular games now that got popular during quarantines, Among Us. I'm
Right.
sure
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
have
Among
played
Us,
it, right?
yeah.
So like,
yeah, Among
they
Us
would like
and
Such a big game now. And Fall Guys, actually. Yeah, both of them.
yeah, and
Big for a while.
Animal Crossing at the start
Animal
of
Crossing,
the
yeah.
pandemic was huge, dude. I don't know if that's ever gonna be esports because it's more of like an hangout type of game. The back
Yeah.
is like you can hang out, but if they can make Shaq Fu an esports game,
Yeah,
they can make
anything,
anything.
I
definitely.
mean,
Yeah.
like, over the quarantine, I started playing Candy Crush again.
OG.
Dude, I am level 1,400 in Candy
Yeah.
Crush. Like when in my free time, like I just play before I sleep and stuff like that. Like when I'm not on my PC, I'm just on my bed about to sleep. Like I'll play a bit of Candy Crush. After like an hour, it's been an hour of playing Candy Crush already. It's like nah.
Yeah, I mean me, I bought an Attack on Titan game on Steam, dude. So
Oh, shit.
like sometimes I'm just playing the game and I feel like I'm the like person there, like
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Levi. Do you
Yeah.
guys watch? So
I just started actually, but yeah, dude. I mean the possibilities are endless, and I mean next thing you know, there's gonna be what do you call that Facebook game again where everyone used to play with a pet. Fuck, mental block.
God, also-
Tetris? Is it Tetris?
No.
Or- Describe it to us.
Pet
it's like-
Society.
Pet Society.
I just searched Pet Game Facebook and then it came out Pet Society.
Dude, that was like one of the OG Facebook games that actually that was the game that got me to create a Facebook. As
Yeah.
oddly as it seems.
Club Penguin also.
Club Penguin, dude. Neopets. dude.
Neopets. All these other OG games.
Possibilities are endless, man. But yeah, like I mean, these are all games that first in one way or another will get you coming back for more.
Yeah.
And for my last question, I guess, of this podcast, I wanted to ask you guys, like, what is it about games that keep bringing you back, that make you devote so much time to playing and just being in front of your computer. Like, if you were to take out like 1 to 5 like aspects about gaming in general, just games, video games, like what is it that keeps bringing you back to it?
So I think the first aspect would be that it's easy access. So like it's just right there. Like you wake up and then you take a few steps away from your bed and you're there now by your computer, your console, and then you get to play with all your friends. So for me, that's the most important aspect, being able to play with my friends. So like sometimes I don't even like enjoy winning the game now. As long as I'm like having fun with my
Yeah.
friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just catching up with them even since like since most of us have graduated na, and like yun nga, we're all working and doing our own grind. So we don't get to catch up as much. So gaming's just another avenue for me to catch up with my good friends.
Right. Yeah. And like at the end of the day, like I said, it's about feeling more connected to everyone around you in the time of these times that we're living in, wherein everybody's so far apart, quarantining. You want to play games to catch up with your friends and
Yeah.
socialize and make banter, trash talk with one another, and that's what I love about Fortnite. Like I was never good at Fortnite. Don't get me wrong. Like I was trash, but one of the things I loved about it was, just being in a 4-man party, talking with your friends,
Yeah.
whipping out some dance moves every once in a while.
Yeah.
This is good times, man. This
Yeah.
is good
Yeah.
times.
Exactly.
What about you, Dave? Like, what is it about gaming that keeps bringing you back?
I think it's just having fun, right? Like and like adding to what Max said, like just being able to make friends, to talk with your friends, and like just the banter and everything. Like over the quarantine, I got added to this Discord of like mutual friends and everything. So we just all met through Discord. Like we're like 13 in Discord and everything. We just play like different games and all those stuff. And like if we're 30, maybe like 25 of them, I'm super close to. Like as in like we're the type to like banter, talk every day. But I've never met them in real life.
Really?
Like yeah, like 25 of them I've never met in real life. Like I mean like mutual friends, right? I mean like they're like from Zabel or like from Monterey High School or like from like schools we know. But I mean like we've never met in real life. But like the way we talk, it's like we've known each other for years. Like
Yeah.
just cause like it's one of the one things that I really really love about like gaming. Like I mean like meeting all these people. If I never got into gaming, I would have never like I don't think I would ever meet them. Like I'd never meet these people. But I mean like every day, like when I wake up, maybe check Discord who's online and these people that I've never met but I talk to every day. Oh, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Let's play. Let's play. What you gonna play? Games. Like yeah, and I mean like it's nice. It's nice to meet people outside your circle
Hmm.
and like make memories with them also and the banter, playing different games with them. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like to add to that, like I think David and I got close through gaming and
Yeah.
since David moved to Taft and then I was still studying in Ateneo in Katipunan, super far, right? But then we'd be talking to each other almost every day. Like I remember there was this one time I think I was playing Fortnite pa at the time.
Yeah.
Like we celebrated New Year's. Like there was a fireworks event
Oh
pa
yeah
in
yeah yeah
Fortnite. And
yeah
we were
yeah
just watching with our characters
yeah.
like dancing, like doing the
like,
doggy or something.
and like every hour
Fortnite.
it would be like there would be like fireworks every hour depending on like where New Year's is being celebrated in the world. So like if it's in Japan, it's like at this hour, in the Philippines at this hour. Like it's so much fun back then when we used to play like PUBG, Dota. Because like the first game I used to play was Dota also on the PC. Then I moved
Yeah,
on to
and then like
PUBG with the boys.
David's met some of my friends
Yeah.
online too. Like shout out sila Paeng Wolf.
Yeah. I mean like
Like
Wolf
David's
I've
never
never
met
met.
them, but then like
Yeah.
since he'd play with us like every day, when they finally got to meet each other, it's like they were like best friends. Like sometimes I thought they were
Yeah.
closer pa
Yeah.
than me.
Like
It's like
I bumped into them like once in like one of the parties before quarantine, maybe like October 2, 3 years ago, and I was like, Wolf, and he's like Bim. It's like no way. I was like, what's up, dude? You're finally meeting after like what 4 years of gaming and everything. It's insane. Like the connection you have after like just playing on your PC for hours and hours. So much fun, dude. So much fun.
Dude, of course. And there's like, this relationship building kasi there also. Like when you get to
Yeah.
talk amongst each other and, it's getting experiences out of the real life but it doesn't mean that it's any less than real life experiences, because
Exactly.
you're there at the same time bonding, trying to get shit done in whatever game that you're
Yeah.
playing.
Mhm.
And I feel like, especially during the quarantine, when yun nga, everybody was feeling so disconnected from everyone. It's also like an escape, like you're stuck in your room every day. You're seeing the same four walls that surround
Yeah.
you, seeing your family every single day, which is not a bad thing. But I mean, you want to be able to socialize with different people, and it's kind of an outlet for you to have these experiences that you can't necessarily have nowadays, diba?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to wrap up this last question, I just wanted to ask you, like, you know gaming, especially for specific gamers, there's so many like bad connotations for it. Like, when you game, you're not gonna have any friends, you're not gonna have any girlfriend, you have no social life. But I mean, you guys are both, a testament to, that's not true. You guys both have girlfriends, gorgeous girlfriends. Shout out to Alex and Chelly. Chelly's my tita. Alex has been my friend for a long time. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be a complete loser just because you like game all the time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you guys to end this pod, like, how has gaming impacted your life or your personality, mismo?
I think like personally, I was able to open myself up to meeting new people. Like I mean, the people I would meet, like I was saying a while ago, like on Discord, I just like introducing myself, like, yo, what's up, guys? David, let's play some games, and we got super close. I think like personality wise, it made me such a like nicer person, I guess. Made me more happy, like being able to meet all these people, and like I mean, like you can still be social. I mean, like as long as you put like certain times of the day for like gaming and like going out, socializing. You don't have to like focus on one. You should be fine, right? I mean, like all of us. I mean, like so many of my friends that I go out with on weekends back before quarantine are still people I play games with. I mean, like gaming isn't really a bad thing. I guess it's people are just so negative all the time. But I mean, like I think gaming is a positive thing that's happened in my life. Being able to meet so many people, play games, and everything like that.
I think that, yeah, like I became more sociable actually due to gaming. So I go outside of my social circle, meet all these different types of people. So by doing that, I'm able to, like, adjust how I am. So I guess that made me be able to communicate with others better. So I apply that in real life then. So yeah, basically
Mm.
that. And then like I feel like I became better with numbers too, because there are a lot of
Mm.
numbers in games
Right.
too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in that aspect. And you were saying na parang there are a lot of negative connotations to gamers, no? And
Right. Yeah.
I think there are few naman na negative effects, no? Like
Of course.
since it's super fast paced, like sometimes you people get more impatient faster. Do you think, David, that sometimes we're more impatient because of
Well,
gaming?
yeah, I guess at times, yeah, we can get impatient. But I mean, it helps with like like reaction times and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it's such a positive thing that's happened. I mean, I'd rather be in the where I am now than I would be if I didn't game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the amount of people I've met, drank with, hung out with, memories and everything, it's just so much better than if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think yun nga, like overall it had a positive effect on my life. So like
Yeah,
I wouldn't trade all those hours I did playing back then, like 9 hours a day in high school,
yeah, yeah,
college, for anything else.
yeah. Exactly,
right.
exactly.
And it's all about balance naman at the end of the
Yeah,
day. Like, of course,
Mm-hmm.
if you take it to an extreme, if you're gaming for 15 hours a day, not sleeping, not
yeah.
eating, not
Not doing
socializing,
anything else.
then,
Yeah,
that's an extreme naman also. But,
Yeah.
if you can balance it with school and social life, then I feel like you should be in a decent place, if not even in a better
yeah,
place than, you would be if you were just, I don't know, watching Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
yeah, like, I mean, for all of the kids out there that, or being told by your parents like don't game because there's nothing fruitful out of it. Look, you can make $1 million out of it. You can make so many friends out of it. Your reaction time is quicker. So
The
it's
cards
like
for your parents.
yeah, and these two are a testament to that. I mean, they both graduated college. They both have girlfriends. They're both like working or about to be working. You know, dude, it's not all that bad. So like yeah, like thank you guys for sharing that insights, and I hope you listeners learned a thing or two from these two pro slash um casual gamers. But I think that about does it for this pod. So I want to wrap up the pod by saying thank you guys again for joining me in this Homie Humpday episode. And I honestly had so much fun talking with you guys, learning about gaming, and just catching up in general because it's been a while since we've, like, the three of us have been able to talk. And before I go, I think now would be a perfect time for you guys to plug in where people can find you if you're still streaming, or if they want to watch some highlights, if there's any out there in YouTube or in Twitch. Like go for it.
I just want to say thanks, Rox, for having us. I mean, like, it's a good opportunity to also, like, the listeners and everyone just, like, how gaming is, and, like, being able to see how Max sees everything and how you also see everything, Rox. I mean, it was a good thing for me to get on the podcast, yeah. But I mean, like, in terms of, like Twitch and YouTube, I mean, there's really nothing really. I feel like nothing big. I'm just here for the casual gamer life, yeah.
So just watch out na lang next time you're playing Fort. If you see Bims, tago ka na, bro. Tago ka na. Kasi GG ka na dyan.
If you see me emote on you, I mean, nothing personal na lang.
Nothing personal, but you suck, bro.
Get good.
All right, what about you, Max?
Yeah, thanks Rox for the opportunity for bringing us all together. Yun nga, we haven't seen each other for a while, so we got to catch up then, and you gave me an opportunity to talk about my passion nga, which one of my passions, which is gaming. And then I mean, I feel like we should be careful with our advice to the young people. So, to add to what Rocket was
Take
saying,
it with a grain of salt, guys. Take it
balance.
with a grain of salt.
Balance lang, guys.
Balance, yes,
It's like,
please balance.
Please balance. Me and David might not be good at examples of balancing. We put a bit too much time into it, but
I mean, like, maybe 3
as
hours.
long as you're
a day,
able to
3
get
hours.
your schoolwork done,
Yeah, I'd say you guys turned it
Work
out
done.
just fine, dude.
party
Yeah.
like twice a week. That's okay na. It's
That's
more than
okay
enough.
na. Yeah.
Work-life balance, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where can people find you, Max, if you have any stuff posted online or on Twitch or whatever?
I haven't been streaming lately, but then just keep on the lookout. I'll be posting on my Facebook and on Twitch too. And actually, like a startup company actually reached out to me in starting a Dota team. So I'm not too sure pa, but then I'll keep you guys posted.
Hey, all right. And
Yes, sir. Congrats.
congrats, man. And you listeners, I will definitely be sharing on my stories if Max does end up joining that team. And just stay posted if you guys want to hear more from Max. But that about does it for this episode. I want to thank you all listeners for joining us today in another episode of the Raucous Modern Life podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to share with hashtag RML podcast and hit that follow on Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram so that you never miss an episode. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.